minutes to go in normal time. Liverpool 3-0. Corner taken quickly, Origi! Yeah! Unbelievable! Divock Origi! Oh my word! Yes! This is incredible.
Hello, it is the Reds Cast podcast after Liverpool have been beat yet again. I'm joined by two angry fellas here, and Jay and Dean. How are we, lads?
I'm not angry.
I'm just fucking apathetic towards it all now.
That's a very big word.
Where do we start? Got beat by Chelsea, never good, but we'll ignore that. And then 6 defeats at home to who else but Fulham. I'll start with you, Dean. Sum it up for us.
It's fucking Groundhog Day. Every game is the same. It's just like watching the same game on repeat every day for 3 months. Like, we come out shit in the first half, awful. Usually lucky to go in 0-0 at half time if we get that far. The first 15 we pick up a little bit in the second half and look like it looks promising, look like we might do something. And then after 60, just progressively get worse and worse until we eventually concede on between 70 to 80 minutes. And then we show up again for the last 5 and try to blather teams and put balls in the box that just get headed away by 3 6-foot plus centre halves. And it just happens every fucking week now. And it happened again yesterday. Yesterday was the typical Liverpool game of the last 3 months. So boring to watch.
You said to me, Jay, get me on, I'm fed up. What are you fed up about?
Fucking hell. Where'd you start? I looked at the team yesterday and thought, about time.
Yeah.
Because I thought, there's players who just haven't been playing well at all, who must just think, fuck. I said it in a pod on here, I think it was when the City won.
Yeah.
Where I said, there's players there who must just think, I'm not asked, I'm going to start defo. Players like Trent's one of them. Salah, Firmino, Mane are one of them. 3 of them, sorry. There's just that many for the team where they just I think complacency is just set in now, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to start. I'm not really asked. It doesn't bother. Like, it doesn't affect how I perform, whether I turn up, whether I can be asked. And you just have to look at the body language of them all. It was embarrassing on Sunday. Like, proper fucking embarrassing, to the point where it got to like half time and I just turned it off and went out, because my new theory is, if you don't watch Liverpool on a Sunday, they can't ruin your Sunday. So I just never watched it, and I didn't even try and keep up with it, because I knew as soon as they scored, as soon as that goal went in, that was it, Liverpool had lost. Because where the fuck is our next goal coming from?
We've only scored twice at Anfield since the 8th of December, isn't it?
Since we went top at Christmas, and we were all like,
Yeah,
we're gonna.
16th way,
And so we were all like, fucking, we've won the league again. Wow.
Yeah. I think that, sorry Jay, I think the point you just made there about as soon as he scored, you knew it was over, is absolutely right. Like, I felt that, I think you feel that now, as soon as the opposition score, the game's done. Because it's not even about the mentality, you just know what they're going to do. They're going to sit in on the edge of the box. They're going to take tactical fouls in midfield. They'll take a little yellow card. They'll try and hit it on the break. And it always works. Always works.
It was the same in the derby. As fucking painful as that is to bring up, it was exactly the same. They scored and it was like, that's it now. And that's 3 minutes into a game and you just know. You know, for like, we're not scoring here. Same against Chelsea. Mount scored. Decent goal. We're not scoring here. No chance.
I don't know when Liverpool are next going to score. When you saying that, we'll probably go and demolish Leipzig.
I don't know where Liverpool's next 3 points are coming from. I don't know where Liverpool's next point is coming from. Teams have sussed us out. It's sad.
Well, in that Chelsea game with Andy Robertson, I love Andy Robertson, but they kept making him, because he's only one-footed and they can't use that right foot at all. So when he was going down the wing, they were like blocking him off on the left, making him go on his right foot, and he couldn't do nothing. It's so, like you said, everyone's sussed us out.
Teams have sussed us out. There's no plan B in. I don't think there ever was a fucking plan B, because plan A was always working fantastically, but there's no plan B. What is Liverpool's plan B now? I struggle to look at the bench and think, yeah, he could do this, he could do this, he could do this. It baffles me now watching Liverpool, because I just think that thing of a 4-3-3 and trying to pump crosses into the box from Trent and Robertson, it's like, that's not working, and it hasn't worked for 3 months now. Why are we still persisting with it? And that's not questioning the manager, because I don't think anyone in the right mind can sit there and question him.
No.
And you see the fucking helmets who are like, get him out, get Gerrard in.
Like, Gerrard's going to leave to lift the trophy.
Gerrard's just done something, listen, on very, very good achievement, and they've deserved it. They're unbeaten and they've pissed it. But let's be honest, it's a fucking Farmers League.
Yeah.
My 21s would probably have a good go at it. That's fucking saying.
I mean, well, he's done well in Europe with the money as well.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, saying that the Farmers League's probably taking a bit away from it, but to then say, yeah, get Klopp out, get Gerrard in, that's the answer. Fuck off. Come on.
The only thing I wouldn't want Klopp out. The only thing I question is his subs in the last 2 games.
Got the obvious one's the Salah one against Chelsea, and I can see it from people's point of view. I didn't like the way Salah reacted. A lot of people are saying, oh, he's well within his right. Nah.
Play for the club, don't you? Not for the...
You do as you're told. You do what, if the manager asks you to come off, you come off. You don't throw a big strop and sit on the bench and sit there with a big face on and shaking your head. And you certainly, what the fuck is his agent doing? Like, let's be honest, what the fuck's that all about?
His agent wants to be like Mina Riella.
His agent's a knobhead then, isn't he?
Yeah, that you can just see from like stuff he says and that. He just... Agents for me shouldn't be in the public eye at all.
Agents shouldn't be. Agents should be exactly what they're intended for, to get your client the best deal, and once they've got that deal, see ya.
Well, you look at, like, say, Gerrard, Carragher, had the same agents their whole career, but you couldn't tell who they are.
Gerrard's got the same agent now.
No, but you couldn't say who it is. You might be able to from the Foundation College, but no one knows who he is. And that's the way agents should be.
His name's Paul. Paul, I know. Paul, and he's Scottish. And I only know that from the fucking documentary I've watched where he was in it.
Gerrard's?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know, yeah. His name's Struan Marsh.
Struan, something like that. I was thinking, well, whatever his fucking name is, don't know.
That's a good thing, you shouldn't know.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I've just got his name wrong, so there you go. So you shouldn't know who people's agents are.
I haven't seen anyone say Klopp for Gerrard, fortunately.
I haven't, that fucking cesspit that is Twitter, but...
I haven't seen anyone say that, but I think, I'm not, when we say question the manager, are you saying question his position at the club? Yeah. I think he's not above questioning, like, decisions.
No, when I say you question him, question him as if to say, like, he should go.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree that, listen, I'm all for you need some of the stuff, like, that's happening now. Questions need to be asked, obviously. And he'll probably say himself, I want questions because I want to be able to answer the questions, to sort it out, because he's obviously not happy. Fucking hell, you look at his press conferences now, they're just, the moody, aren't they? They're grim. But, like, he probably wants them questions because, fucking hell, who doesn't?
Yeah. I think, to be fair, with some out of plan B, like the players, even if we had a fully fit squad, the players aren't there for a plan B. Even if everyone was fit, even if we had all our centre halves, all our midfielders, all our centre forwards, there's still nothing there. What you do, our problems really are going forward. So, and all our strikers and all our centre forwards are fit. All our wingers are fit. There's no problems up there.
It's only the back.
It's only the back four, and to be fair, they're not doing a bad job. Do you know what I mean? They're actually doing a decent job.
Since you rinsed Phillips, he's been boss.
Fucking hell, let's rinse half the fucking team. But let's be honest, it's not the defence that's the problem.
No, I think Jota masked over a lot of the problems, didn't he, to start the season.
But I think that blaming the defensive injuries as well is papering over the cracks a little bit. Because no one's, they're starting to now because Liverpool stopped scoring goals. But no one's questioning why, or no one was questioning why the front three weren't scoring goals. Or why the replacements were coming in and not performing. Or why are we persistent to play Bobby Firmino up front when we still have a striker on the bench there who, alright, he's not the best. We all know that he's not the greatest striker. But at the same time, he's different. He offers something different if you play him to his strengths, which he could still have a role to play for the rest of the season and then probably would get rid in the summer. So why not just try it? Why not change the shape a little? I think if we just tweak the shape, and I still think if we start Origi, things might change a little bit. As I said, he's not the best, but he pushes defences back. He's a shoulder the last man striker. He's not doing what Firmino does. I think Klopp hangs Origi out to drive a little bit, to be fair, because he does play Origi like Firmino. He tries to get him in front of defences. It's not his game. Or he plays him out on the left like Matty, and that's not his game. Put Origi on the shoulder of the last defender and give centre half something to think about. Push them back. Make a little bit of space in front of the back 3 or back 4 or back 12 or whatever these are fucking playing this week. Do you know what I mean? Make some space. There's no space there at the minute because when Firmino plays, it's all in front of them. And then if it's not in front of them, it's whipped into the box for these 3 fucking behemoths and nod away. So
I don't understand that either because all our front 3 are midgets.
Well, Mane scores a few headers, doesn't he? And Firmino scored a few headers. So
Salah doesn't, does he?
No, he doesn't. And to be fair, the crosses always come from his side and strength. Yeah. And Mane did get in yesterday, hit the bar with the header, didn't he? I think there was an element of luck to Fulham yesterday, to be fair. I mean, they hit the bar. I think did we hit the post again? Thingy pulled off a brilliant save. Areola pulled off a great save from Jota's volley. So there's a little bit of an element of luck about it that they needed to win that game. But then this game, like the Chelsea game, there was no fucking luck there for them. They were by far and away the better side. Chelsea, the Everton game, Everton deservedly beat us, and 2-0. Sorry, was the right score for that game. We got exactly what we deserved.
Yeah. I'd even play one of the kids, there's that kid Clarkson banging them in the under-21s. I know it's a completely different level, but I'd rather play him than Bobby at the minute.
Fucking hell, we play any more of the kids? We're under-12 side, lad.
I know, but it's just, they got more fight desire in them, haven't they? Like, look at Jones in recent weeks, he's been our best player.
I think it'd be a shout to throw maybe Clarkson in front of the back 4. Do you know what I mean? Especially if you want to play Firmino in front of the back, in the back 4. I think you need a whole midfielder, because for as good as Wijnaldum, I say good, he's done all right. Probably the best midfielder we've had the past few weeks, Wijnaldum and Jones. For as well as those who have done, what's going on behind them isn't really, what's the word I'm looking for? It can't be enjoyable not having faith in the players behind you.
Yeah.
And knowing that the lads in front of you are going to let you down. So maybe it might do well just to have a natural home midfielder in there and let Firmino boss them about a little bit.
What do you think about Wijnaldum taking the captaincy? If he's going, don't you think someone else should have got it?
Yeah. I don't understand it. We discussed this before. Why, if he's going, why give him the captaincy? Maybe it's a sweetener to try and convince him to stay. But I'm sure he did it with Coutinho before Coutinho left. He gave Coutinho the captaincy.
And Suarez had it.
Exactly. So in that sense, I remember it in a room around Christmas time that Salah was fuming he didn't get the captaincy then. You can sort of understand his point, really. Although it's a team game and he's not in it for personal gain, you can see his point of players who are looking to actively get out the club are getting the captaincy ahead of him. Although on that occasion it was actually Trent wearing it, but you can see, you catch me drift, you know what I mean? There's other lads there that deserve that captaincy. Like, if Trent comes on that game, he should be wearing the armband. Milner started that game. Isn't he the club vice captain? Why the fuck hasn't he got the armband? Alisson's been there a while now. Why hasn't he got the armband?
Even Robbo, he's the captain of Scotland.
Exactly. So he's got experience being a captain. So he's his national team's captain. So why are we giving the captaincy to a lad who's looking to fuck off in the summer?
Do you reckon that is adding to problems, Jay?
I just don't think that's an issue, mate. Genuinely,
that's the captaincy.
Yeah, no, not that the captaincy is not an issue with like giving it to Wijnaldum. Fucking give it to whoever you want. I'm not asked. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't concern me. I don't look at the team and go, oh, Wijnaldum's captain. It's nothing for me. That I'm more asked about being asked about being on the pitch. Whereas the body language of half of them, including Trent, who's meant to be this
Scouser.
The Scouser and the all-out Liverpool fan, and he's all for the badge and he's all for the club and he's all this, he's all that. And the last couple of weeks I've looked at him and just thought, you would rather be anywhere else but on the pitch.
So and yesterday's game, I would have rather kept Nico Williams on than him.
Because at least he's trying. Yeah, do you not think with Trent it's a confidence issue then?
I think with all of them it's a confidence issue, but it's like it comes in swings and roundabouts, doesn't it? So if you're not confident, you don't want to be on the pitch. I get that, but you don't not want to be on the pitch for 3 months. It's coming. It's been 3 months now, and I get it. Like once you're in that slump, and it is hard to get out of. If you've been up here and you're fucking, it's rock bottom. So let's be honest.
But then he had that game.
Let's be honest.
He had a game a few weeks ago where he was boss. He's got a goal, didn't he? And then
Spurs winning.
Yeah, and then being crap again.
Liverpool have done that though. That's the Spurs away. When was that?
Mid-January.
So
Yeah,
what,
2 months ago?
2 months ago. that's fucking like Liverpool have been like that. Liverpool played well in Salzburg. Was it Salzburg or Leipzig? Liverpool played well in Leipzig. Come back and got beat by was the derby or got beat in the derby and very well outplayed in the derby. People say, "Oh, well, we battered them." Well, we never. We got exactly what we deserved because Carlo Ancelotti's tactics were fucking spot on.
I don't get these people wind me up that say, "Oh, we're battering teams." Sorry, we're battering teams. We're not battering teams.
We deserve to get beat by everything,
Yeah.
even without the pen.
Even
it was
if,
still going to be 1-0.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is that even if we have 60% possession in the game, we're not battering teams. We're being outplayed. Even though we're having most of the ball, we're being outplayed because that's their game plan. They're happy for us to let us have the ball, knowing that all we're doing is crossing into the box or putting it out wide or playing in front of their back four. We're not getting shots. We're not getting in behind. We're not penetrating. So how the fuck can you say we're battering teams? We're not. We're not getting anywhere near the goal. What was the game? There was a game very recently. It could be fucking any of them this way. I don't know because they're all the fucking same. There's a game very recently where I think it was the 85th minute was the first time the opposition keeper touched the ball.
The Chelsea game?
Yeah, it was the first shot on target. It was the 85th minute. I mean, and then people have the goal to say we're outplaying teams. We're not. We're being outplayed.
Even that Sheffield United game, although we won, I think we were very lucky to win.
I thought we were fairly comfortable against Sheffield United, to be fair.
But then in that game, we had a different formation, which I don't understand why wasn't used against Fulham, another low block team.
I just think now you can go like we can sit here and go, oh, well, he should do this, should do that, should do this, and we should have done this and should have done it. Like the season's gone for me. Like if Liverpool finish in the top 6, the way these last 3 months have been, then you look at it and you think, yeah, done well there. Like we'll take that. Well, the one thing I don't want is to have to fucking play in Kazakhstan on a Thursday night. I would rather have no European footy than playing that.
Well, it's mad the European sets up this year because it's not 6th, is it?
Goes down to 5th. 8th, doesn't it?
Yeah, it goes down to 8th. I think it's 5th for your Europa League unless a team who wins the
way I understand it is the 2 cup winners get a Europa League space.
Unless they're in the top 4 and then it'll go to 6th. But then there's the 3rd tier of European football where you play teams against from like Albania.
Maybe that's fucking
so we're going into the Intertoto Cup.
Maybe that's Jurgen's thing. Like he's won the Champions League, he's won the Premier League. Now he wants to crack at the shit ones in Europe. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that's a thing.
This is called the UEFA Conference League.
The fucking Johnson's Paint Sophie of UEFA.
Yeah, it's shocking. I'd rather not have Europe at all and focus on the league next year than.
I'm happy to be in the Europa League, but I'd rather go in the Europa League and not whatever this fucking piece of tat is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'd rather go straight.
To be fair, I'm winning it. To be fair, I know I've just said like I wouldn't want to be in it, but
I've had some boss men.
Yeah, when we went to when me and my half went to Basel, it was a fucking boss day.
Yeah, and then there's like the Dortmund game. That's one of the best nights
game. Yeah, that was a great night.
It's just not the same as the Champions League though. Like you'd have a great night out every night with the Champions League. In the Europa League, it takes you to get to the semi-finals before you
before you look at it and think, yeah.
Before there's any memories.
And then you've got to go somewhere miles away, like you went to Ball. That's a drive. Did you think you'd go on the coach there?
It's dead awkward to get there.
Like
it's like 30 hours or something, isn't it?
It's like 2 days on a coach.
Yeah.
Fucking, to be fair though, it was like a proper boss trip, and I blame Alberto Moreno.
2 days on a coach.
2 days. 2 days on a coach. Yeah.
How did you get to Madrid? Did you fly to Madrid?
Oh, Madrid.
We fucking flew.
We flew
all over Europe.
Denmark. We flew to Denmark to get Denmark. Then stayed in Denmark for 2 hours. When it then flew to Madrid. But where we stayed in the mountains in Madrid, and then flying home. You come a different way into me. I went to Ibiza and then flew home from Ibiza.
Did you stay in Ibiza for a few days?
Nah, an hour.
Oh, no way.
I flew from Madrid to Pisa, stayed in Pisa for about 6 hours, and then to Leeds, and had to get picked up from Leeds.
Oh, we drove all the way to Madrid, drove all the way home.
But do you know what? They're them type of trips that you look at and you think, I wouldn't change anything about it.
Yeah.
Like, because you win. Basel, I changed fucking everything about getting there. Getting there and getting home.
Because it wasn't worth it.
Did you have to do the coach home as well after it just been
yeah. But we had to leave straight after the match. So we didn't even if Liverpool would have won it, we wouldn't have been able to watch them lift it because the fan zone was that far away from the coach, and the coach was leaving bang on fucking 1 o'clock in the morning or something. But it turned out a fella on our coach fell over and broke his leg. So we had to wait while he was getting sorted in the hospital. he was in there for a couple of hours. He got like this cast put on and just fucking threw out the hospital and was like, sort that when you get home there. And then someone lost a passport, so yeah, man, it was a fucking very long trip home. Like
with that Fulham game, I was thinking 3 points to me.
No, I went.
No, I
Even
went
before
either.
it?
No.
But you know, when I seen the lineup, I was more confident than if we would have started full strength, because I thought these 11 players are going to give us.
I fully agree with that. When I looked at the lineup, I thought, yeah, we might get a good game out of this. But then 2 minutes in, I thought,
it's not the defence. The kids in the defence played well. Phillips, the two Williams lads.
The reason they scored off the back of a mistake from Salah.
Exactly. It's the lads up front that are letting us down. It's the big players up front that are letting us down. And yeah, they are letting us down because they're not. I don't believe half of them are trying either. I don't believe Salah is.
I think yesterday was like the perfect time for Salah to turn around. And say to it and like put a performance in. He's just caused a big thing, him and his agent, because he got brought off. So in my head, I'd be thinking, yeah, I'm going to fucking show you.
He was average.
Don't fucking bring me off again.
Why is he trying to back into it? I know he does that when he's on the attack, like put his strength into a defender. Why are you doing that on the edge of your box, defending a corner?
Did he get a man on?
It doesn't look like he does, to be fair. The way he takes the ball and the way Lamina takes it off him, just brushes him aside, doesn't he? It doesn't look like he gets a man on.
They should have just booted it, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
Again, football's a game of basics. If you do the basics right, you'll do well. It's what you probably say to your lads. It's what I say to mine. Just do the basics and we'll be all right. So like for people who are getting hundreds of thousands of pounds a week to not do the basics, to not tell someone when they've got a man on, to not like just talk on the pitch, not like ask for the ball. If you don't want the ball, don't fucking ask for it.
Yeah.
There's players who you can see who are asking for the ball and like you're looking at them on the telly and thinking, why have you asked for that? You clearly don't want it. Your body language.
Yeah.
I've said about 4 times, but if they were my players and that they had that body language, I'd take them off and I'd say get changed and go home. Because there's
Thomas
no
Tuchel
point
done it, didn't he, with Hudson-Odoi?
Yeah, said his body language was all wrong. So
you could, with Liverpool, I mean, you could do that with everyone. That's one player, innit? We could do that for everyone, really.
I feel very sorry for Klopp, and that's genuine. And people will probably listen and think, "Why the fuck do you feel sorry for him? Like, he's a millionaire." But I genuinely do feel sorry for him because I just think he's just out of ideas now.
Well, the Dortmund CEO said a few years after Klopp left that they shouldn't have got rid of Klopp. They should have got rid of the players.
Yeah, and I fully back that.
He didn't get rid of Klopp.
I know he left on his own thing, but it was a quote where he said,
done whatever he could to keep him.
rather than and then get rid of the players.
I've seen quite a few things. Sorry, Dean. I've seen quite a few things that have said that the owners are fully backing him and are going to give him what he needs to sort it out. So, for me, the argument of getting rid of him, it's a non-starter. It's not even an argument.
They haven't got the money really to get rid of him anyway, because they took money out of the. Not saying the physio is just to blame, but they've got a cheaper physio department now than they did last season, because with the furlough scheme, when everyone kicked off.
It's all about saving money with what's going on in it. So,
yeah,
it is what it is. But I think if he was going to go, he wouldn't be sacked. I think he'd walk. They wouldn't. How do you push someone else?
I think the only time he'd probably walk is the World Cup, and then go to Germany.
It's all speculation, and like I said on a couple of no one knows.
No, well, he's said outright, hasn't he? Like he's waiting until his contract's up. So 2024 is the end of his contract, and then he's going.
Then he'll do a year.
No matter what, he's gone.
He'll do a year sabbatical and probably go and manage Germany and then
retire.
That.
He said I remember watching an interview, and he said 2024 he's definitely leaving. He's going to have a year off because he promised his wife and his sons that when he left Dortmund he'd have a year, but the Liverpool job came up. So he's going to have a year off, and then he's going to start looking for work again in Germany.
He'll probably either go to Stuttgart, go back to Mainz.
But things change though, don't they? Look, as I said, look at when he left Dortmund. He said he was going to have a year off, and then the Liverpool job came up. How do we know he's not going to leave Liverpool? Say he's going to have a year off, and then let's say the Dortmund job comes up. Because don't believe he go to a big club like Barcelona or Real Madrid. Yeah. Maybe he might just to try it, just to say he's done it. But I don't believe he would. Maybe the Dortmund job will come up. Maybe he has said he'd like to finish his career at Mainz. Maybe the Mainz job comes up.
I think the only big job he'd take really is Germany.
Yeah, I don't think he'd go to a Bayern.
No.
I think
he's got too many alliances to Dortmund to go to Bayern, hasn't he?
The question I always say is to like people who we were saying like, oh, do you reckon it's time for him to go? And I mean that like when I say people, I mean like I've spoke to people in work today, and you've said like, what do you reckon? Do you reckon he's gonna go? And or do you reckon
So actual real people, not
actual
people
real
on the
people.
other side of your phone.
Yeah, not Twitter where I've fucking wanted to throw the phone out the window. But like, and the question for me is always, it's like when Everton get rid of a man, like when Everton fans are fuming that they want to get rid of the manager, and it's like, who do you give the job to? So when Lampard was under loads of pressure and Tuchel was still at PSG, it was like, who do you give the job to? There's no one out there. So if Klopp was to go or the owners were to sack Klopp, who'd you go for? Because I honestly don't think Gerrard would leave Rangers at the minute.
Nah, not now. Maybe next season.
I wouldn't even want Gerrard.
I wouldn't want Gerrard.
I think it's. I've said that I want him to go to the Prem, do something in the Prem with like a Wolves or a Fulham. Just go and do something in the Prem.
I wouldn't. My opinion might change in a couple of years, but at the minute I wouldn't want him full stop because I just think, like Lampard, if it doesn't work out, it has that knock-on effect of where you look at it and you think, yeah, he was an unbelievable player, hero growing up, but shit as a manager.
I think it's slightly different with Lampard because Lampard.
He didn't not in a Derby, did he?
No, he didn't do anything at Derby, but he didn't do that bad a job at Chelsea. And you could arguably say he was unlucky to get sacked. So
he got still has a top forward with no one.
Exactly,
last year,
and he still got sacked because they were mid-table with the amount of money they'd spent. So I still think Lampard was a bit of a patsy because they knew they'd get away with sacking Lampard.
Yeah,
there'd be no murder about it because everyone would still love Lampard. No one would really turn on the ball because they knew they had all these players sitting there who would eventually come good, and they got a good manager to replace him. My worry with Gerrard is it becomes really bad. Like Klopp goes, and let's say as a for instance, Klopp goes at the end of the season, and we're coming off the back of a 9th place finish, and the board go and get Steven Gerrard far too early in his managerial career, having to come in and try and rebuild something or try and build this team in his image, and it just goes much worse than we all imagine, and it's another mid-table season, and we are right back to square one pre-Klopp.
I think our next manager after Klopp's Linders.
I do, and I think that's a bad idea as well.
Yeah, because it's the same philosophy, isn't it?
But how often does an assistant coming in it works? It never works. The only time in history I can ever think of it working was Bob Paisley after Bill Shankly. And that's football. That's not our club history. That's football history. I can't think of another time an assistant's come in and even equalled what his predecessor did. Never mind, bettered it.
Who is it at the minute? The team in the Championship who's got Jonathan Woodgate as the assistant. And he's
Bournemouth.
Yeah, and he's done all right. He's done all right.
But was he the assistant? I
think so, yeah. Or he might have just been
because I think he brought him in. I'm sure he brought him in on a whim after they shot Jason Tindall, and he's managed to do well because they were going after Thierry Henry, weren't they? Yeah. And it just happened that Jonathan Woodgate did that well. They couldn't not give him the job.
Well, that's what with a team like Bournemouth for me, it'd be where I'd want to see Gerrard go and do something in the Prem, and then have him because he could come to the Prem. Like you just said, Jake, the Scottish League's nothing to the Premier League. Granted, he's done all right with Rangers in Europe, and I'd love him to go and get United in one of the rounds and knock them out. But I don't think going from Rangers to Liverpool is...
No, and I think the only thing that keeps him there is probably if Rangers win the Europa League.
I mean, they've won the league this year, but they haven't been that good for the past three... For the amount of money that Gerrard's actually spent there. Because he's spent loads. He spent more than Celtic.
Yeah. The League One side, aren't they? Let's face it.
Yeah. We're just doing all right.
It's the Farmers League, isn't it?
I was speaking to
Celtic have pissed that league for 9 consecutive years.
Even Brendan Rodgers won silverware up there.
Celtic have won 4 consecutive trebles.
So he did the treble, didn't he? So he did 3.
Yeah, so Brendan done 2 of them and then basically done the 3rd, didn't he? But Neil Lennon
fucked off and Neil Lennon. That's how bad that league is. Neil Lennon did well. Yeah. He's shite. He's an awful manager.
I'm going to say that's how bad that league is, that Brendan Rodgers won a treble. Then won a double. But then won 2 trebles, was on the verge of winning a 3rd treble, and fucked off. If you're that manager, you look at that and think, no, I'll win the 3rd treble, and then I'll go to wherever I'm going to go. He fucked off mid-season after winning 2 trophies and the possibility, and knew he was going to win a 3rd. Anyone who goes to Celtic knows they are 95% probably going to win the league.
They was only really decent, weren't they, under Jock Stein when they won the European Cup?
In history, yeah. To be fair, Martin O'Neill got to UEFA Cup final. Yeah. And they got beat on in extra time. And that season, they were really fucking good, because I remember them coming to Anfield. I went to that game as
That when he had Larson and that?
He had Larson, he had Hearts, and Alan Thompson was playing left wing
and
back.
was it that Japanese? Was it?
No, that was before Nakamura was there. But they had a really good side. Chris Sutton, John Hart, and Emmerich Larson. And then in midfield, they had Lennon and Paul Lambert. I remember them coming to Anfield, and they fucking battered us. Like, we weren't in the game at all under Houllier that season. They beat us 2-0, deservedly so. So they've had good sides, so it's history, but I agree with what Jay's saying. It's you go to Celtic, you're going because you know you're guaranteed to get a medal at the end of it. And it just so happens that this season, they've had a substandard manager, and Rangers have fucking flew. Do you know what I mean? Gerrard spent a lot of money, but he's built a decent side. Well, for that division, he's built a decent side, you know what I mean?
But we're touching on Klopp before we move on to the Leipzig game. Like I said, the only things I'd question is some of the mad decisions. Like the other day, he left Kaiser on the bench and brought Milner on when we needed a goal against Chelsea. For me, James Milner's not getting you a goal.
No.
Ever. And then the other day, who did he bring on? It was a bit of a... I don't think the subs yesterday was as mad where he is the Chelsea game. That Chelsea one was just mad subs. But then, so I was speaking to someone who said to me that we won't remember, but Bill Shankly had a really bad season towards like the end, like 4 years before he left. He had a
69-70.
Yeah, he
got knocked out the FA Cup by Watford.
Terrible season, and he didn't want to. Apparently, he didn't want to. He was too loyal to players to drop them and let them go. He had to tell, I think it was Paisley, that Ian St John weren't in the team anymore, and then he spent 3 years building his team up to then leave his legacy with Paisley, who then went on and won everything. Could you see something like that happening with Klopp in a sense of, do you think he's too loyal to the players to drop any of them like Firmino and stuff like that? And then do you think over the next 3 years before his contract runs up, it will be a period of just rebuilding to then leave that team for what will then go on and be great again?
I'll let you go first because I've got quite a long-winded answer for this. I've thought about this a lot.
I forgot the question. No, I don't think he's too loyal, and I think he's proved it by the fact that he leaves them out, that he left them out on Sunday.
That's the first time, though.
It's not. It's not the first time. There's been in the 4 years. It wasn't all of them because Salah started.
But you can't. He's the top goal scorer in the Prem. He's not. Out of the whole team, he hasn't been the one performing this year realistically.
But the last 3 months he has.
Yeah, granted.
So, for your point of is he too loyal to the players? No, I don't think he is. Because if he was too loyal, I don't think that the 7 changes would have been made on Sunday. I think 7 changes was a big statement, not just to us. Because let's be honest, we've all been moaning for the change. I have.
Do you not think the changes are more about, though, like, he's give up on the league and he's going to go for the Champions League, resting them because we've got Leipzig on Wednesday?
But then, are we realistically going to win the Champions League the way we're playing? Are we realistically going to get to the...
We'll speak about that in a minute.
Are we realistically going to get to the semi-finals of the Champions League?
Yeah, but as a manager, he's not going to admit that, is he?
No, he's not going to admit it. And he said in his press conference on Friday, no, we're fully going for the top 4. So I understand the point of, well, making 7 changes because he's focusing on the Champions League game. But then, I just don't know. I just don't get that point of let's focus on the Champions League because...
He's got to say that in public.
No, that's what I'm saying. I understand him saying that. So he's never ever going to admit that he's give up on the league. But I don't know. I just think the criticism will come whether we win the Champions League or not for the way that this season's panned out. Liverpool were favourites to win the league. Liverpool were top at Christmas again.
Yeah, by 6 points.
Yeah, and it will be another season where Liverpool have been top at Christmas and fucked it up. What was the second question?
Do you think he'll start getting rid of players and building a team over the next 3 years to leave? Not with the idea of leaving if to someone, more as the next 3 years is a bigger rebuild than what people actually want to admit.
I think it'd be a build for himself to have a crack. I don't think it'd be a rebuild to a point where he then says, right, these are ready, there you go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think it'd be right, we're ready now, we'll go and have another crack at it. If that ends up being his last season and we win the league, so be it. But I honestly think a couple of tweaks here and there, a player or two in the summer, let's get these fucking 10 players who are injured back, and then
there's only Van Dijk and Gomez.
We'll go again.
Well, there's only Van Dijk and Gomez injured, you know.
See, that's how fucking much incest I've took lately. I still think fucking everyone's injured.
Yeah.
Last I heard, we had
It's
about
Van
10
Dijk,
injuries.
Gomez and Henderson, but then...
Jota's only just coming back as well.
Yeah.
Fabinho's only just coming back. So it seems like a lot more. It was a lot more like this time last week. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks for killing me off there.
What do you think then, Dean?
Right. There's a slight difference really. With Shankly's sole aim was to rebuild that team to get them going again and to leave it because he knew that he was going to leave in a couple of years' time. With Klopp, I agree with Jay really. I don't think he'd rebuild with a view of leaving. I think he wants to rebuild, if it's going to be a rebuild, he wants to rebuild much sooner. He doesn't want it to be a 3-year job. He wants to rebuild ready for next season. I don't think he looks that far ahead. Granted, we have said that he's going to leave in 2020. He wants to leave in 2024, but I don't think he's got that in mind when he's planning a rebuild. And I don't think it's going to take a rebuild. I just think it's literally a couple of transfers going forward. Everyone's saying we need another centre-half. I don't think we need another centre-half. He's bought 2 centre-halves. Right, one's on loan, but he's fucking off back. Let's face it, he's probably going to go back. The other lad, I don't know if he's a real
Has he even
person.
plays yet?
No.
He's the fucking Jean-Michel Ferry of our generation,
Wow.
mate.
He wasn't even on the bench, and he's fully fit.
Is he?
Yeah.
So why isn't he starting? So anyway, the point, I don't think that Klopp will rebuild for a few years' time. I think he's going to rebuild for next season. I don't think it's going to take much. I honestly think it needs a centre-forward to challenge Firmino, an alternative, a proper centre-forward if you want, and someone who's going to eventually be Salah's replacement.
And someone for Gini.
Yeah. I think we need another centre mid, obviously, but I think Mane's replacement's through the door. That's Jota, that's done and dusted. He's sorted. Mane can leave next season. We'll be fine, maybe with Jota. Salah's replacement needs to be through the door this summer as long-term replacements because he's not. Let's face it, it doesn't look like he's going to be there much longer. Yeah. If not this summer, then next summer he's going to go. And Firmino, that he's a busted flush now. It looks like that Firmino tactic, not Firmino the player, but the Firmino tactic of playing a false number 9 isn't working no more. So we need something different up front. Apart from that, and obviously replacing Wijnaldum, you're all right, really. You're okay. The Deadwood's going to get replaced anyway. Shaqiri's going to go probably, and this new lad who will eventually be Salah's replacement will replace him. Oxlade-Chamberlain will probably go. We'll go out and get 2 centre mids, maybe. So maybe 3 or 4 players it'll take. What was the first question again? Sorry. Just forgot it now as well.
Is he too loyal?
Is he too loyal? I think it's too early to say whether he's too loyal. I think this is the first sticky patch we've really had under Klopp. And before that, you couldn't accuse him of being too loyal because everyone was producing for him. Yeah. But now we've discussed tonight that these lads don't feel challenged no more. Trent, Salah, Mane, they play every week knowing they're going to play the next week regardless of their performance. This is a test to see whether Klopp's too loyal because now is the time to show that he has got strong management and he can drop these lads and he's not too loyal. And for the sake of the team, they need to be out of the team. So maybe if he carries on playing them, you could say, yeah, that he's being too loyal. Is that a bad thing? Yeah, in the sense that it's costing us games, but at the same time, you could argue that he owes it to them to give them a chance to refine some form, given what they've done for him in the past. So I think it's slightly too early to accuse him of being too loyal.
I mean, there's a few decent players linked to us for the summer. But looking ahead to the Leipzig game, can we win it? Tell you though, these were 2-0 down the other day, the week after us, and won 3-2 in 45 minutes.
And it was a cracking game.
Yeah.
That's it. Throw that at me, yeah. I don't know. Like I said before, I don't know where Liverpool's next win's coming from. I don't know where Liverpool's next points or 3 points.
But it was like this when we played in the last game. And I think
great, Hardy, let's be honest. Where are they in the German League?
Top.
Oh, okay.
They were shite against us.
Yeah, they were shite.
I don't know what the midfield were playing at, but they just went walkabout.
But they had players who they usually start on the bench, like, I can't think what his name is now. But the only good player against us was that Danny Olmo. But they had players who did usually start.
He was on the bench, really.
Yeah.
They looked organised. He was fucking horrendous in, by the way.
He was. He's usually not that bad as well.
And look how Anupam Nkana was terrible against us, which usually he's solid.
Yeah, all three centre halves were really poor on the ball.
They looked organised. I thought it's 2 slips, wasn't it, that cost them?
Yeah.
So even now, fucking hell, it's not like we made fucking really good goals, was it?
We played well.
We did play well, but it's not hard to play well when the other team's shite or playing shite. Do you know what? That's my point.
Yeah.
Other teams are coming to us and playing well, so it makes us, and we're not playing well. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So, like, we're playing shite, so it makes other teams look like they're playing really well. So we're fucking awful. So Fulham look like they played really well. So they probably did. I didn't really watch it.
No. They weren't that
They weren't
good.
anything special.
Weren't they?
No, they
Like-
didn't.
like I said-
after he scored, didn't get into our half.
Like I said, if you don't watch Liverpool on a Sunday, they can't fucking ruin your Sunday. So, but look, can we win it? We can win any game of football, but do I think we're going to win it? I think, yeah, but I think it'll be on aggregate. Obviously, it'll be on aggregate.
So you think we'll get beat on the night?
Yeah.
Like
I don't.
1-0. I think we
I
self
think
will
we'll
beat
win
them.
it.
Yeah.
I think with...
They might get an early goal, but then I think we'll get 2-3.
See, I think in the Champions League, the games are going to suit us more.
Yeah.
Because everyone in the Champions League backs themselves, they fancy themselves. So they'll come out and play the way they play.
It's the world stage for players, like,
Yeah.
isn't it, with the egos and stuff?
But it's world stage for managers as well. And they get there, having played a certain way, and they'll come out and just play the way they play. Whereas in the Premier League, teams are coming to Anfield and changing the way they play to suit us, to combat us. No one's going to do that in the Champions League because everyone thinks they're better than everyone else.
And they've got to win.
Exactly. So they all come with a little bit of bravado. And I think with Leipzig tomorrow, or Wednesday even, they've got to come and win. They've got to get goals. They've got to attack us. They can't afford to sit back.
Yeah.
And I think that's the narrative. That's the easy way of thinking about it. And I think that's what they'll think. Like, they can't afford to sit back and hope that they can hit us on the break. Because for all I know, we could turn up and smash them. Do you know what I mean? At home. So...
Well, it's in Budapest, but I don't.
Oh, is it a Budapest? Oh,
yeah.
Jeez, to see. Don't know, so if they can't ruin your week.
Yeah, it's in Budapest because if they come over to England, they'd have to quarantine for 2 weeks.
So it's the same pitch.
Same pitch, same stadium.
Same pitch, same stadium. So it should be the same type of
The
game.
only difference is we'll be in the own dressing room.
Exactly, and we'll have a different colour kit on.
Yeah.
So you could, I honestly think, and this is why I actually think we might do all right in the Champions League. Obviously, we're talking about maybe coming up against Barcelona and Real Madrid with fucking
Barca
Nat Phillips and
finished.
Reece Williams at centre half.
Barca are finished.
Juventus
I
and
think.
Man City then.
Yeah. The threat to the Champions League for me is PSG and City because they're both most soulless clubs in the competition. Everyone else is backed massively by the fans. Fans make a difference. City and PSG.
Yeah, I think take that away from them. No, they're just two fucking really good teams as well.
And I just think Poch will do well with them.
Yeah, so I think...
But Real Madrid are worse than us at the minute.
But
They couldn't even put 9 subs on the bench against Atalanta last week. They had 5 kids from the academy and one of them was 15.
They weren't very impressive either.
Yeah.
Considering Atalanta went down to 10 men.
Yeah.
It took them until the 86 minutes to score.
And it was the left back.
And it was the left back.
Yeah.
It was a good goal, like. But the point is, I fancy us to go to do better than what people expect in the Champions League, just because I think that teams have got to come out, they've got to fancy themselves and they've got to come out and attack, because no one goes into the Champions League looking to put 10 men behind the ball, apart from Diego Simeone, because he's not arsed. And that's what they do.
They'll win Chelsea then, though.
Do you think? I wouldn't be surprised if they beat Chelsea in the home.
They're the biggest threat, I think, for me.
But he's another man who's not arsed though.
Yeah.
Tuchel will come and do the same thing because he just needs the result. If you watch his team, they don't have a style of play.
Just sit back in it, you don't do
Well, they do whatever he does whatever it takes to win a game. Like Simeone, you can point out a Simeone team, you can point out a Klopp team, you can point out a Guardiola team. You can't point out a Tuchel team because he does what is needed to win that game. And his teams are chameleons. They're versatile.
Yeah.
So,
Lovely that.
thank you very much.
Yeah. Before we go then, give us a score prediction for Leipzig. I reckon 3-1 myself.
0-0.
2-0.
I'd take 0-0, yeah.
Fucking, I'm praying for a fucking 0-0. Just give me a 0-0. It's all I want.
2-0, and of course, fans of the Champions League, for the way we're playing at the minute, is a decent showing this season.
I think we'll win it.
I don't think we'll win it.
There's no... Over 2 legs. Like you said, teams are going to attack. Liverpool can't sit back. Over 2 legs, I fancy Liverpool against anyone.
But I think if we go that far and we hit a City or a PSG, I think we'll just come a cropper. I think that's our...
It's likely Van Dijk will be back towards the semis.
But he's not going to be fit.
True.
And then we've got to go into we've got to play Kylian Mbappe with Nat Phillips as centre half. Nico Williams at right back. Sent shit himself. The mentality midget to go into fucking PSG.
If we get PSG, we need Jay to come and tell us every player can't play football. Since he's done that with Nat Phillips. Nat Phillips is the new Jamie Carragher, to be fair. Not that good.
Fuck off.
Nah, seriously, Nat Phillips isn't that good, but gives everything on the pitch. Can't fault his effort. That's what Carragher weren't good, was he? Realistically.
Yeah. Record goal scorer for Bull Boys.
Yeah, nice one for coming on. Hopefully the Reds actually get a win.